Hello everyone, my name is Dr. KCH Apparao, working as an Institute of Aeronautical Engineering in Mechanical Department. Okay. Uh, my course title is Machine Tools and Metrology. Uh, it is belongs to fifth semester, third year. My topic is Introduction of Manufacturing. If you will see, these are the outcomes of my subject. The first outcome, recall the importance of geometry of cutting tools, coolants, and tool materials for the analysis of material behavior during manufacturing process. Okay, according to our name, subject name, machine tools and metrology. Both machine tools and metrology for used for the manufacturing. So manufacturing is a very important activity not only for mechanical engineers, for the whole country, because uh, few years back our Indian economy is based upon the agriculture. Now it was shifted to manufacturing because due to rapid advancements in technology and expansion of industries. So the growth of manufacturing, the income based upon the manufacturing has been increased. So we can say manufacturing is the backbone of Indian economy. Okay. We few years back we listened that software bubbles, but the economy which is based upon the manufacturing is not a bubbles. Bubbles appear sometime and disappears. So after some time, so it means the economy which is based upon the just like software, there may be fluctuations up and downs, but the economy which is based upon the manufacturing, so there is no fluctuations. We can see the consistent growth in the economy of any country. So manufacturing is the important activity for the economical growth and development of any country. So for rapid development and a strong economy, manufacturing should be competitive not only locally but also internationally. Okay, manufacturing as a source of wealth of a nation. Manufacturing is a central function for realization of the ideas. So finally, we can say manufacturing is the backbone of economy of growth of any country. So here we can see some the countries which are which countries have GDPs have higher. So and which countries economy is based upon the manufacturing. We'll see first one is the China. So the percentage of global manufacturing is 20 percentage. Next to US, that is 18 percentage. Next to Japan, 10 percentage, and Germany, so that is the 7 percentage. South Korea, 4 percentage, but India is only 3 percentage. So it means China is 28.7 percentage global manufacturing output. US 16.8 global manufacturing output. Japan is the 7.5 percentage of global manufacturing output. So Germany 5.3. So India is 3.1. So if you consider or compare the India with China, so there is a huge difference between the India and China. But population wise, we are greater than the China. But in manufacturing wise, manufacturing uh, output of manufacturing, so China has very high compared to India. So China is 28.7, India is only 3.1. Okay. So our just Murthy sir is the Narayan Murthy sir is the co-CEO of Wipro company. He commented on the importance of manufacturing hub in India compared to China. So he commented on the GDP of India and China. So Murthy sir highlighted that China is far ahead in the race to become global manufacturing hub. China has already become the factory of the world. He commented like this one, factory of the world. It means around 90% of the things in supermarkets and home depots in other countries are manufactured in China. If you observe any product in market, you can understand that is the manufactured in China. So most of the uh, pots pots are manufactured in China. So he also commented that our China GDP is 6 times than our country India. So it is too uh, far for us to say India will become the manufacturing hub. So this comparison underscores the significant gap India needs to bridge to rival the China's manufacturing progress. So it means there is a lot of need to improve the manufacturing hub. Also, he commented like this one. Murthy sir emphasized the critical role of government support and public governance in achieving manufacturing goal. Okay, so for manufacturing, by and large, the domestic contribution is more, and the government plays a big role in success of manufacturing. So, unfortunately, the response time, transparency, accountability, speed, and excellence in public governance in a country like India still need to improve. He stated like this one. So Murthy stressed that reducing the interface between the government and industry is essential for improving the manufacturing growth. So there is a lot of need to improve the manufacturing hubs growth in manufacturing in India because uh, which country economy is depend upon the manufacturing. So its GDP also will be increased. So he commented like this one. So uh, we should learn about the manufacturing. What is manufacturing? Because so it is very important term because the manufacturing is the backbone of uh, our Indian economy. So we should learn. We should read about the manufacturing. We'll see what is manufacturing. So manufacturing is derived from the Latin word. The first one is the manus and factus. Manus is the meaning of hand. Factus is the meaning of making. So it means the meaning of manufacturing according to Latin word manus and factus. So made by hand. Okay. The meaning of manufacturing is the made by hand because you know that our Indian civilization just like is completely rooted with manufacturing. And we know the ages, Stone Age and the Bronze Age and the Iron Age. In the previous age, Stone Age, they used that stone or wood or something. What are they available in the naturally? They used that materials for the mm, for the toolings for their work. So it means after that they prepared the some metals like bronze. So it is a mixing of tin and copper, and they prepared the new metal that is the bronze. They used that bronze as for the tools and for making of some vessels also. So the manufacturing is completely associated with the civilization also. So manufacturing consists of the ways by which material to be converted into useful products. We can say manufacturing is a process by which or through which raw material will be converted into finished goods, required product. Okay. This conversion involves the shape of initial material and the physical and mechanical properties of the materials also. Okay. So in the conversion, we will see only physical uh, changes, shape changes, or physical properties of the material changes. Sometimes mechanical and physical and chemical properties also will be changed. Okay, so these are the just brief description about the manufacturing. Okay, manufacturing. So we can say this is the just like raw material through process, manufacturing process, manufacturing. So we'll get the finished product. Okay. So it is the act of making something from raw material or conversion of raw material into finished goods. So attaining shape or size in required size and shape. So this is the meaning of manufacturing. We can say this is the value addition process. So for raw material that doesn't have any value, but if you give that required shape and size and required uh, shape and size, automatically this product will have some value. So we can say manufacturing is a value addition process where we can convert the raw material into finished goods. So when you convert the raw material into finished goods, automatically that product has some value. Okay. So what is the definition of manufacturing? We'll see. Manufacturing is the making of goods by hand or by machine. So initially they used the hand to make that product like pots and something. Uh, so now in the present condition, just like machines are using advancement of methods, machines we are observing, are seeing also automation. The rapidly is growing for the making of products. So you know that the evaluations of manufacturing. Okay. So manufacturing is the making of goods by hand or by machine that upon the completion, the business sells to a customer. The manufacturing usually happens to a large scale production line, uh, line of machinery and skilled labor. So it means for this one required the machinery and the skilled labor also. So manufacturing we can divide three uh, parts or three uh, phases. The first one is the metal forming. So these are the manufacturing processes. Manufacturing can be classified into three types. One is the metal forming. Metal forming means we can say casting, and second one is the forging and the drawing sheet metal works. All these are the metal forming. So casting it was started 3300 BC. Okay, when the time of bronze age. Okay, so they prepared that copper plus tin material like bronze. So by the process of casting, they prepared that some tools and required products also. So it is a old and very important and very essential manufacturing process. You know that casting. So just like we prepare, just to mold the material and pour into desired shape. That is the mold, and we will get the shape. So that is that casting process. We know that forging processes. We apply the continuous blowing of pressure uh, or force on the material, we will get the desired shape. Drawing process, we know that sheet metal also, we know that. See, so all this metal forming we already studied in the second year manufacturing process subject. So in this subject, what is that manufacturing process or manufacturing process 2. Otherwise, we can, according to our subject name, machine tools and metrology. In this, we'll see the metal removal only. Okay. So metal removal, so that is related to machining process. Okay. So here we'll see turning process and drilling process and milling process, and so some advanced EDM also, electron discharge machining, laser beam machining also we'll see. So all these machinings. Okay. Here there is no just like cutting of material. Here we'll see cutting of material, removal of material from the uh, raw material or from the object to get the desired shape. Okay. So this is the metal removal process. Okay. This one is the metal forming process. Metal is converted into desired shape. Here metal is removed unwanted material, converted into desired shape by removing the unwanted materials by machining process. So advanced technique is the additive processing. Additive process, rapid prototyping. You know that MEMS also, you know that CVD, PVD, all these are latest technologies, manufacturing technologies. So we will read all this one, additive manufacturing process subject in final year also. So in this class or in this subject, we will discuss only metal removal by machines, and uh, for the performance of manufacturing process, we will study about the metrology also. Metrology is the ology of measurements they should needed to perform the machining process. Okay. So in our subject, so machine tools and metrology, we will study the metal removal by different types of the tools, single point cutting tools and multi point cutting tools also. Okay. We'll see. So manufacturing, we know that already discussed that one, the making of particles on a large scale using machinery. By the help of machinery, we can perform the manufacturing process. Okay. So in the machinery, we will remove the material, unwanted material from the workpiece, and we will get the desired shape. So machining process. So converting raw material or components or parts into finished goods that meets the customer expectations. Compared to metal forming, in metal cutting, we'll get the accurate sizes. Okay. So dimensions will get the accurately. In tolerance range also very accurate compared to metal forming. So that is the main advantage between the uh, metal forming and machining. So through machining, we can perform or we can prepare the materials, critical dimensional materials also we can prepare. So to perform the machining process by metal cutting, we require the machines. Manufacturing process by metal cutting, we require the machines. We can see, we can call it those as machine tools. We'll see what is machine and what is machine tool. You have to know about the comparison between the machine and machine tools. We should know about this thing, because machine performs only one operation, particular operation for which or for what intended that is designed. Machine tools can prepare these own products also, own parts also on that machine tool. We'll see what is machine. Machine which will do only particular work. For example, like washing machine. The main purpose of washing machine is to just like wash the clothes only. They cannot perform any other operations. Okay, just like grinding machine that prepares only grinding only. Just like mixing. So they can mixing only. So it means machine perform only one operation. Uh, so it cannot perform multi operations also. Okay. So it cannot make its own parts. So that is called a machine. So for example, machine, washing machine. Washing machine performs only cleaning up clothes. it cannot prepare the parts of washing machine on that machine. Okay. But machine tools, machine tools, so it is also a machine, but it can produce its own parts also. That is the machine tools. The we can say machine tools, lathe machine. We can perform different. Can different. We can prepare the different parts on machine tools. Okay, own parts also can prepare the machine tools, lathe machine also. So many examples you can see. Like here, we'll see the history of machine tools. What are the different machine tools are there? In which area they are discovered? We'll see who discovered those, who designed those. We'll see things. First one, the existence of some form of crude machine tool. So is recorded as early as 700 BC. So in BC also it was used, that is called the crude machine tool. So however, the most prominent beginning of machine tool is it is invented in 1775 by John Wilkinson's. So by the help of John Wilkinson's prepared the or invented the or designed the first boring machine in 1775. Okay. So in 1794, Henry Maudsley, so he designed the or he invented the engine lathe. So this is the very important machine tool. So you can say this is the mother of all machines also. So he combined the lead screw and a cross lead also, change of gears in a form, so which is almost similar to the current day central lathe also. Okay. So same principle is going on nowadays also. So that is the basic engine, lathe engine, designed by or invented by Henry Maudsley. In 1817, Roberts invented the planing machine. Okay. In 1818, Eli Whitney he prepared the or invented the milling machine. So in 1840, John Nasmith, so he invented the drilling machine. In 1845, Stephen Pinch, so he prepared the first turret lathe. Okay, you see, we'll discuss different types of the lathes also. Turret lathe. In 1869, Christopher Spencer he invented the automatic turret lathe. So automatic system, computerized system. In 1952, so numerical control lathe machines comes into picture. So invented in 1952. So this is the brief history. Sorry. So brief history of different machine tools. The first machine tools which is invented by John Wickerson, that is the boring machine. So next lathe, Henry and planer Roberts. So these are the machine tools invented by different persons in different years. So we can see the history of machine tools. Okay. Now we'll see. So by using these machine tools, we can perform the machining operation. Machining operations means removal of unwanted material from the workpiece to get the desired shape. Okay, that is called metal cutting. So machining is very important. By the help of machine tools, we perform the machining. Machining or metal cutting is just nothing but removal of unwanted material from the workpiece. So it is the process of removing unwanted material from a block by use of a tool in the form of chips. So when you perform machining, we will see some form of the material will be removed in the form of the chips. Okay. So by using different types of the cutting tools, we can perform the machining operation. There are some types of machine tools also. We'll see. So the objectives of metal cutting is to form objects of desired shape, size and surface finish. Next, to fulfill its basic functional requirements and provide better or improved performance, render long service life. So this is the main objectives of metal cutting or machining. Next, the basic requirements for the manufacturing work or machining work. So you can see some schematically illustration of flowchart. So here machining process will be performed by the help of the power. So by here for the machining process, we'll use some types of tools. Two types or three types you can classify: single point cutting tool, two point double point cutting tool, or a multi cutting tool also. So next, environment also very important. So based upon the environment, some manufacturing process performed uh, based upon the situations also. So next, for manufacturing process, will perform on the raw material just like blank, and we require the machinery to perform the manufacturing process. We require the just fixtures to fix the workpiece on the machines also. So by this process, we will get the product. So after the finishing of the product, we will go for the analysis. If there any requirement of rework on something, so we will send for the correction also. So next, so this is the just like schematically illustration of flowchart. This is the flowchart of manufacturing process. Okay, we'll see. So the elements of cutting processes. What are the important elements which are included in the cutting process? We will see. Any cutting process involves the first we require the workpiece. Okay, the material, base metal or base material to perform uh, to convert the base material into required product. Okay. So workpiece is required. So next one is the tool, either single point cutting tool or multi point cutting tool based upon the manufacturing process. Okay, so we'll prefer the tools also. Next one is the chips. So it means we have to study about the chips also, because when we use the tools, material will be removed in the form of the chips. Okay, so based upon the chip formation, we can understand the process also, either it is smooth or rough. Okay. Next one, cutting conditions also very important. Okay, so for the cutting conditions, we will apply the lubrication and cutting lubricants. Okay. Atmospheric conditions are also very important for the machining processes. So these four are very important for the perform the cutting process or machining process. So this is the just like a very basic diagram for the machining. So here, this is the workpiece. You can see this one is the tool is advancing in this direction. So V represents the velocity of the tool. So this one is the tool face. This is the tool face. On this tool face, the material, unwanted material will be removed in the form of the chips. So this is nothing but a chip. Okay, so we'll see some angles also. What are the types of angles included here? Shear angle, rake angle. This is the shear angle, rake angle. We'll see in further classes. We will explain clearly. So it will be explained clearly. We'll see some types of angles also. Clearance angle, just like edge angle. Okay. So all these angles, what are the angles included here also? We'll see. So basic requirements for machining is the workpiece, tool, and chips, and working conditions also. Based upon the working condition, we use some lubricants. So these are the elements which are used, which are included in the machining process. So we'll see first of all cutting tools, because first one is the material requirement. Without material, we can't create or we can design any product. So next one, selection of material is depend upon the design engineer. So that is another topic. So next one is the tools, cutting tools, selection of cutting tools, and choosing of the tool is very important. There are two types or three types uh, cutting tools are there. Cutting tools may be classified according to number of major cutting edges. So that is very important. So if you consider the single point cutting tool, you can say double point cutting tool or multi point cutting tools also there. Double point cutting tool is nothing but just like um, drilling cutter. Single point cutting tool, you know that just like cutting tool which is used in the lathe machine, turning machine, shaping machine, planing machine also, slotting machine also. So single point cutting tools used in the uh, in this machinery are machine tools. Like lathe machine will use the single point cutting tool, and turning machine also. In shaping machine also will use the single point cutting tool. Planing machine and the planing machine also will use the single point cutting tool to perform the planing operation, slotting also. So in this machine tools, we use the single point cutting tool. Next to multi point cutting tool. Double point cutting tool, it means that is the drill cut bit. Or you can say classify two types. One is the single point. Next one is the multi point cutting tools also. So multi point cutting tools like those tools used in milling cutters, like milling machine. So many types of the milling cutters are there. We'll discuss in um, next further classes. Next to drilling and broaching tools, drilling and broaching tools. Next to gear shaping cutters. So many cutting tools are there. So those are called multi-point cutting tools. Okay. You can see this is the single point cutting tool. We'll see what are the different parts of the single point cutting tools, and we'll give the clear explanation regarding the single point cutting tools and the multi point cutting tools also in further classes. So here this is the multi point cutting tools. So every point touches the uh, rotates against the workpiece and removes the material from the workpiece. Okay. By using single point cutting tools, we can remove the material from the workpiece. So this type of cutting tools used in the lathe machines and the turning. Lathe machine is the right, but turning machine, shaping machine, and planing machine and slotting machines. Multi-point cutting tools used in the milling machine and the drilling machine and the gear cutting also will use the multi-point cutting tool. So here you can see this is the single point cutting tool which is used in the turning operations or lathe machine. Okay. So this one is the double point cutting tool. So 2 points will cut the two edges. So cut the material, cut the workpiece to remove the material. So here one point, here one another point. Here only one point is there. Here you can see multi-point cutting tool. This tools used in milling machine. So by multi-point cuttings, we can remove the material from the workpiece. So these are the just brief description regarding the cutting tools. Okay. Next, we will see cutting processes, methods of metal cutting. So basically, methods of metal cutting. Basically, there are two types of metal cutting. One is the orthogonal cutting. Next one is the oblique cutting. So we'll see orthogonal cutting. Orthogonal cutting is nothing but suppose it is the workpiece. So tool moves perpendicular to this workpiece. So like this one, perpendicular moving. Okay. So that is called orthogonal cutting. So cutting face of the tool is at 90 degrees to the direction of tool travel. Direction of tool travel. Okay. So oblique, so that is the just like cutting face of the tool is inclined at less than 90 degrees to the path of the tool travel. Okay. We'll see some more differences between the orthogonal cutting and oblique cutting also. Orthogonal cutting or two-dimensional cutting. Cutting edge of the tool is at right angles. It means 90 degrees to the direction of relative motion between the tool and the workpiece. Example, you can see turning at the open end of a tube. So it is a very simple process used as the basis for the metal cutting study. Okay. Next, oblique are the two-dimensional, three-dimensional cutting. So this one is the two-dimensional cutting only. So here, this is the three-dimensional cutting. Okay. So cutting edge of the tool is at angle not perpendicular to the direction of relative motion between the tool and workpiece. So most actual cutting operations of turning. So these are the oblique cutting only. Here you can see. So this one is the 90 degrees to the direction of movement of workpiece. So this is the orthogonal cutting. This one is the below 90 degrees. This one is the oblique cutting. The cutting angle of the tool right angles to the direction of motion. The cutting angle of the tool not make right angles to the direction of motion. It means below 90 degrees. We'll see the chip flow in the direction of normal to the cutting edge. Here, chip makes an angle with the normal to the cutting edge. Okay. So, in orthogonal cutting, only two components of force considered. So, because one in a horizontal direction, another in the vertical direction. So it is simply called as two-dimensional coordinate system. So two-dimensional cutting, you can say simply two-dimensional cutting is nothing but orthogonal cutting. So here we'll see in oblique cutting, three components of forces will be considered. Okay, so three components. So one is horizontal and inclined, so vertical also. So three types of forces will be included here. Okay. So next to cutting force, one is thrust force, another one is the radial force. Here you can see. So which cannot be represented by two-dimensional coordinate system. So it is simply called as three-dimensional coordinate system. Okay. So to represent the forces acting during the cutting, so it is simply called as three-dimensional cutting. Orthogonal cutting is the two-dimensional cuttings, and the oblique cutting is the three-dimensional cutting. Here, the tool has lesser cutting life because that is perpendicular uh, to the workpiece. Here, the tool has higher cutting life. So, because of some inclination, the life will be increased. Okay. The shear force act here perpendicular to. So this is normal Fn. This one is the Fs shear force here. Okay. So but here shear force makes some inclination. Okay. Some inclination like this one Fs. The shear force per unit area is low, which decreases the heat development per unit area, hence increases the tool life also. So next, the chips flow over the tool here. The chips flow along the sideways. Yeah, these are the just like differences between the orthogonal cutting process and the oblique cutting process. Okay. So single point cutting tool. First of all, you will see different types of the cutting tools. First, you will see the cutting tool, single point cutting tool. As a name indicates that a tool has single point for cutting purpose is called a single point cutting tool. So through one point of cutting, machining will be performed here. So it is used in the lathe machine mainly, shaping machine, and planing machine also, and so different machineries are there. So it is used to remove the material from the workpiece. That is the basic importance of this single point cutting tool. Okay, this is the just like diagram of the single point cutting tool. Through this single point, material will be removed. So here we can classify the different parts of the single point cutting tool also. We'll see what are the different parts of the single point cutting tool. We'll discuss those things in next class. Okay. So thank you listening this class. Okay. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.